Hello and welcome to another Bushwhacker review. Today we are going to be taking a look at NASCAR Authentics Wave 2 for 2022. And as you can see, we finally have next-gen diecast and Authentics. It was initially said that I thought this was going to be Wave 1, but as you've already seen, Wave 1 is a race-to-win wave from 2021. But we finally get the Authentics for next-gens in Wave 2. I said it is 90% next-gen test cars with one actual paint scheme, and then you also have Dale Jr.'s 2022 Xfinity car you see over there. Why don't we just hop right into it? We'll start, of course, with the, Xfinity car. So we have Dale Jr.'s Hellman's paint scheme from Martinsville this year. Comes with a sticker. You got Dale Jr. 88 Hellman's, Junior Motorsports, a little design of the car right there. And here is the car itself. This was a fan vote design paint scheme. You had a choice of 3 different Hellman's paint schemes, and this one won. This one honestly probably was the best looking one. I'm not surprised this one won. I'm kind of surprised they didn't actually, milk out those fan votes again like they used to do, where, where they would have like a 3-car diecast set of all 3 versions of the paint scheme that you could have won. But especially for Dale Jr., I'm kind of surprised they didn't do that. They're kind of being weird with Dale Jr. this year because, like, Dale Jr. ran a next-gen test car. It was a black number 5 Hendrick Motorsports car that he ran at, it was a Talladega or Daytona for a test, and for some reason they just didn't offer, and it didn't even show up in this wave where, this wave has like 4 exclusive cars they never even offered, but we'll get to that a little later. But here's, of course, the Dale Jr. You have to get Dale Jr.'s car and, Authentics every year. This will probably be the one that most people will find. You're going to go to stores and you're going to find piles of the Dale Jr. car, and all the next-gen cars will be gone. But definitely not a bad choice for Authentics. Next up, we have a pair of Hendrick Motorsports matching test cars. First up, we have the number 5. Got number 5 Hendrick Motorsports and a big bow tie on the sticker. Now, these were both used by most people. Like, most teams didn't obviously bring a test car for every single one of their drivers because there was, a shortage on next-gen stuff. So, like, in this case, like, Chase Elliott ran both of these. So, if you're a Chase Elliott completionist, you technically have to get the 124s of both of these for your collection. But it's just a solid white test car. You have a Chevy bow tie on the side, number 5. There you see the underside of the new next gen, has the underbase, does have the diffuser molded in the back right there, as you can see. It's decently detailed. It has those little like bump stops that are, were causing all the issues early on the bottom side. Does have, the single lug wheels, if it wants to focus. I'm pretty sure they said we are supposed to still get those rubber tire diecast chassis, like the ones that are sitting on top back there. I'm pretty sure we're still supposed to get those this year with the next-gen car, so I'm curious how those turn out. Remember that caused a stir earlier in the year when they had the Chevy bow tie on top of a Chevy bow tie? That was very redundant. I'm glad that didn't actually make it to the real cars, because that didn't really make any sense. I also did like, back when everyone was talking about that, you had people that were like, but Ford has the double logo thing. It's like, yeah, one's a Ford logo, one's a Mustang logo. This is just 2 bow ties. But that is a little disappointing that if they were going to put 2 Hendrick cars in this wave, they put the 2, identical Hendrick cars. Again, it would have been nicer if we got that Dale Jr., solid matte black HendrickCars.com test car. But there's, of course, the 5. And then for the 9, you have the same sticker design. Number 9, Hendrick Motorsports and the Chevy bow tie. Here is, of course, the 9. Is that exactly the same? I have noticed for some reason mine is missing the black on the B-post. The B-posts are supposed to be, decaled in black. You can kind of see the bottom where it, like, missed a little or chipped off or something. I'm not sure what happened there, but super ultra rare, mega rare air. $500,000 on eBay. Buy it now. Airs are always hilarious because, like, there's some airs that are definitely would be a nice air to have. You get the car that's, like, in the wrong packaging or somebody else's packaging, or you get an air that's, like, missing half the car or the decals or something. But the people that think that airs immediately mean it, like, triples in value are always really funny to me. But anyways, there's the Hendrick cars. Next up, we have Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s Kroger next-gen test car. Here's the sticker. You got Stenhouse Jr., number 47, and Kroger. And we have our first exclusive of the wave. Said 4 of the cars in this wave were never even offered. Or no, 3 of them weren't offered. 1 of them was offered but fully DNP'd. But here's one that was never offered. Somebody need to point out, this is the very first time we've ever gotten a Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 47 car in 164 scale. He's only ever gotten one single 124 made either, which was his 2020 pink Kroger car from the Charlotte Roval. But for some reason, Stenhouse is just the anti-diecast lately. Like, no matter what they offer him. Like, they offered his Sunny D car this year. That DMP'd. They skip a lot of the cars for that reason. Like, he had an awesome Reese's car at the Coke 600 this year that I would have loved to get a diecast of, but it was Stenhouse, so I was like, it's not even going to be offered, or if it is, it's going to get canceled. But you may also notice that this test car has the number on the center on the door. Because early on, for a lot of these next-gen test cars, they still had, the number where everyone actually wants it instead of moving it forward. Definitely a very unique diecast. It does have all the, typical sponsors on the back there. Looks like one is missing from the top right. I wonder if that's tied. But you do see, Velveeta and Reese's and Sunny D and everything back there. This is also the 2021 base paint scheme. So this is the only way to get that 2021 paint scheme for Stenhouse. You'd have the, different brand back here, usually on the car, like the orange one was halftime for, like, NOS or whatever. But definitely an interesting choice. Next up, we have Austin Dillon's Bass Pro Shop test car. Austin Dillon AD and the Bass Pro Shop logo right there. This one's a little disappointing because it's basically just his paint scheme this year, but a little bit more empty version of it. And knowing Authentics, watch, we're going to get his regular version of this car at some point in Authentics, and they're going to have, two very similar cars, probably like in a couple waves apart from each other. But this one's also interesting because for some reason this one has a gray base. Every single one of these next gens has a black base, but for some reason the Austin Dillon has a gray base. I have no idea why that is. This one does give you a little better look at what the base actually looks like. So you got the diffuser stuff in the back, you got the little panel in the middle, you got the little bump stops. Like I said, just the kind of, an emptier version of his 2022 Bass Pro Shop paint scheme. Got Tracker Boats, Bass Pro Shop, got bioethanol and Dow down there. Definitely interesting. Next up, we have the Trackhouse 99 test car. You got Trackhouse number 99, the Trackhouse logo. This car was offered but fully DNP'd. This car is very disappointing to me because the real car was all chrome. The 99 was chrome. This Trackhouse logo was chrome. And we've seen the Lionel's doing chrome on 164s this year, and they're doing chrome all around for any, like, the numbers and stuff that have chrome. So what happened here? How do they just ignore this one? Like, that is really disappointing. Did they just not want to do chrome for Authentics? Or, like, what is the deal? I mean, you can kind of see where, they made it look like it was supposed to be chrome, where it has that kind of, like, faded look from, like, the chrome shine, but I don't know. This one actually does have Daniel Suarez's name on it. I said some of these test cars are only used by one driver. Some of them are shared between two drivers. Like that K1 Speed test car that they also offered that actually is getting made in 124. That one was also used by Chastain, so I'm going to have to buy the damn thing. But I'm curious if the 124 this got made, would the 124 have the chrome? Because that is just, like I said, I'm very disappointed by that. I was excited for this design to show up in Authentics, and then when I realized it wasn't chrome, that definitely kind of killed some of my hype for it. Oh well. Next up, we have Brad Keselowski's RFK Racing test car. Number 6, Brad Keselowski and RFK Racing. This was the reveal paint scheme as well for the brand new team they formed. Pretty sure the number on this one is supposed to be chrome too. So like I said, I don't know if they just didn't want to use chrome on Authentics. I'm pretty sure this is getting made normally, so I think this is getting made as a 124. So if that's true, we can at least see if the 124 comes out. And if that has chrome, then I guess they just don't want to pay chrome for Authentics. I don't know. Not a bad paint scheme. Said Roush Fenwick Keselowski Racing hasn't really been that good this year. Brad has, definitely fallen off a cliff. They got that huge penalty for cheating like the bumper. And so he basically has to win, or there's no way he's making the playoffs. And I don't even think he has the speed to win a race. Maybe he can win like Daytona, but I don't know. They also did change the 6 font again. It's a lot closer to their very original Roush, like Mark Martin 6 font from like the late 80s, early 90s. But not a bad choice for Authentics. Next up, we have Cole Custer's number 41 Stewart Haas Racing test car. Got Stewart Haas Racing, some of the stripes in number 41. I am so glad that this one got made. This is another one that's completely exclusive. This was never offered whatsoever. Said the 41, the 47, and the 3 were never offered. The 99 was offered but canceled. So, said 4 exclusives in a wave is definitely not bad. But I always loved this test car back when it first showed up, and I was like, I almost wanted a diecast of that. You have that kind of like classic Ford GT paint scheme, the black with, you know, the silver metallic stripes, the old Ford logo down there. You have the circle number. Like, this is just a really beautiful looking test car. I'm definitely glad this got made in some form of diecast. I said I would have bought the 124 if that actually got offered. The silver stripe is metallic if that's coming across. Just a beautiful, beautiful test car right here. And last but not least, we have the only next gen in this wave that is actually a paint scheme and not a test car. We have Kevin Harvick's Gear Wrench 4 car. This one Lionel screwed up a little bit too because the real car is actually a metallic orange where this doesn't really look metallic. It's hard to tell. It doesn't. I'm pretty sure it's not. Have to see the 124 of this and like shine a light right on it, but it doesn't look metallic. Or maybe a tiny bit it is on that fender. I don't know. The real car is like a, you know, deeper metallic orange where the diecast look like it's just kind of solid bright orange. It's way too hard to tell on this 164. But I know the prototype they showed didn't look metallic, so I don't know. But and this one also looks kind of awkward because that's where bush would be right there. So you have a giant empty black spot right there. Kind of wish they would put something there just to fill out the space, but not really entirely sure why Gear Wrench went to Harvick this year. Like, I'm surprised they didn't just follow Kurt to 2311. But because a pretty solid wave, not a bad wave to kind of introduce the, you know, next gen cars. Having a test car wave is an interesting enough idea. I said I wish they would have, you know, branched out a little more. I definitely would have wanted one of those Penske Ford test cars, which was, you know, the matte black 22 and 12 that had, you know, the Ford logo on the side and such. If they're just going to make whatever, I would have liked one of those. Again, the fact they didn't make Dale Jr.'s, they didn't offer Dale Jr.'s test car normally and then didn't even put it in here is very odd. But as I said in the Wave 1 review, we are actually getting a weird little bonus wave at the same time this wave's coming out that is also a next-gen test car wave. It's basically all the cars from this wave, minus these two. Or at least I don't think it's all the cars, it's some of the cars, minus these two. And then they have new cars. They have William Byron's Exalta test car, Chris Buescher's Fastenal test car, and it has the 3 next-gen reveal paint schemes, like all 3 manufacturers' next-gen paint schemes when they revealed the cars. That's apparently going to be like a bonus wave that's not going to show up everywhere. If I ever find it, the Lionel store's not getting it or anything, so if I find it, I might do a review of just the 5 new cars of the wave. I don't know, but so that's worth pointing out that you might find a, you know, different version of the wave. At that point, it's just weird. Like, if you're going to do the bonus wave, then why would you put all these test cars in this wave? So some places are probably going to have, like, 2 of the same cars from 2 different waves just piled on at the same time, and I don't know. Anyways, this has been a review of the NASCAR Authentics Wave 2 for 2022. Remember, for all of your diecast needs, you can go to circlebdiecast.com. Use the code BWhack. You can get $5 off shipping any order over $30 or more. So go check that out if you want anything. But I think that's pretty much all there is to say. This has been a review of the NASCAR Authentics Wave 2 for 2022. Our first look at next gens. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.